So what's going on, guys? I am in the driver's seat of a 2018 Jeep JL Rubicon. This thing is really cool. Hang tight. I think you're going to like this review. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Lithia Dodge Jeep Chrysler in Corpus Christi, Texas. They always let me take these vehicles out and do my reviews with no haggling at all. Absolutely love working with these guys. Now, secondly, and what I want to make abundantly clear, is that I am not a Jeep guy. I have never owned a Jeep. I have never really done full reviews on new Jeeps, and in my opinion, the Jeep is kind of one of those interesting SUVs that you really have to be an enthusiast to love, or you just have to love this type of vehicle in general. In my opinion, a Jeep is a great tow-behind vehicle or towed vehicle that you might tow with you if you're going to be going out with a motorhome and, you know, you travel to places like Moab, or you travel to the desert, or you go to different national parks, and you just want a vehicle that's going to be light, super nimble, and at the same time be a reliable means of transportation with a lot of modern technology. Now, technology is the first topic I want to talk about, because Jeeps of years past had pretty minimal technology. Most people who remember the older CJs wanted a stripped down Jeep that was able to be filled with mud, and you could hose out with a garden hose, or you could drive it through a lake to get the mud out, and the Jeep would come out unscathed. Modern day Jeeps are a little bit different story. Of course, they're trying to appeal to a much broader audience. They want somebody who gets out of a Dodge Durango or a Chevy Tahoe, or maybe even a luxury car, to be able to hop into one of these and have the choice of if they want a very rugged interior or if they want more of a luxurious, comfortable interior. The specific one I'm in now has just about every luxury amenity you can get on it. It's got a 7-inch fully touchscreen Uconnect display. It's got power everything. It's got USB jacks, all sorts of different things that you would expect to see in a modern day, you know, mid-line luxury vehicle. Now, Jeeps are relatively expensive. You have to understand that when you're getting into one of these, you're going to pay probably anywhere in the mid-30s all the way up to about $55,000, depending on the package. This one that I'm in now, I believe, has a sticker price right around $52,000. And they don't really play with that price a lot at dealerships, because most people that buy these vehicles really don't mind paying what they're paying for what they feel they're getting in terms of off-road capabilities, utility, luxury amenities, so on and so forth. Now, I know there's a lot of Jeep enthusiasts out there who will never own a four-door Jeep, and they'll probably even comment on this video how it's totally not true to the Jeep name to have a four-door Jeep Wrangler body. In my opinion, I just think it makes sense to have a four-door Jeep. I just would assume that if you have a family, you would want them to go along with you, and you'd want as much comfort as possible. You're still getting a lot of the capability. You get the full roll cage. This particular one has a removable hardtop that's really nice, and the interior is very well sound dampened. So it doesn't sound like I'm in a noisy old Jeep. It sounds like I'm in pretty much any other modern day SUV. It just sounds great. It does not sound overly loud or harsh. You do hear a little bit more wind noise, and I attribute that mainly to the fact that you have this big flat windshield in front of you that is almost totally upright. And I've also heard that you have to be careful because these things like to attract rocks and, you know, any kind of debris that flies in your windshield really bad, and you can run into scenarios where you end up having to replace your windshield frequently. But overall, I like this vehicle. It's definitely a small, compact, nimble machine. The cab space in it feels very compact. It does not have like a large SUV feel to it, or even a mid-size SUV feel to it. You literally are going to be sitting maybe about 8 inches away from whoever's in the passenger seat. So there's not a heck of a lot of interior room. It feels very cozy, might be the best word to describe it as. Now, this particular Jeep has the auto start, auto stop engine feature. Right now, the engine's shut off because we're at a traffic light. We came to a full stop. You can turn that feature off. There's a button right on the dash that if you want to disable that feature, you can. If I press the button, it starts the engine right up as well. So if it shuts off and you realize you didn't press the button, the engine will start right up. But I can understand having the feature. If you can eliminate some of that idle time, reduce some of the wear and tear on the engine, and reduce your fuel consumption, why not? If you don't want to use the feature, it's a simple button on the dash you can turn off. Now, from a comfort perspective, this SUV has pretty aggressive tires from the factory, but it rides incredibly smooth. If I had to kind of define it as, you know, what type of vehicle it's similar to, I'd probably say something like a Ford Raptor. Even though you have relatively aggressive tires, it's still very smooth. It has nice manners over the road. It definitely does not have a jarring ride. You can probably tell by the camera it's not an overly aggressive ride. It's definitely a smoother ride than my truck has, or a 3/4 ton truck in general. It feels probably on par with your typical half-ton truck in terms of ride quality. Now, it definitely doesn't have a luxury car feel to it, or even a luxury SUV feel. This isn't going to have the same cushy ride that Tahoe RST had in it, or a Dodge Durango, or an Expedition. It's going to be definitely more on the line of off-road, sporty, aggressive smoothness. It's going to have a smooth ride, but you're also going to tell that it has, you know, a suspension system that's designed to work with off-road environments. Now, one thing I really like about this is the 3.6 liter V6 absolutely is perfect for this in terms of power. It has an 8-speed transmission. It shifts buttery smooth. You definitely don't feel any type of jerking or surging with the transmission. I'm very, very pleased with how it shifts, and I'm very, very pleased with the acceleration that this truck has. It feels extremely nimble as well. You know, my truck is extremely long, and you can just tell how extremely short this Jeep is. It doesn't feel as if it's hard to negotiate in and out of traffic, and it would probably be relatively easy to maneuver around parking lots as well. Now, I know with the Jeep, everybody expects that I'm going to have an off-road segment, and I'm going to be driving this thing through Moab and, you know, wastelands and all sorts of really, really bad environments. But I'm not going to do that because just about every channel on YouTube does that. They take these things out and they show you how aggressive it is in different all-terrain environments. I don't think I really need to do that because you can just watch a number of other channels to really see people abuse the heck out of these and what they're capable of. This is going to be for the typical person who goes out and buys this and drives it pretty much every day. You're probably going to want to know more or less how it compares to your car or a pickup truck or another SUV. And this may be the first Jeep you look at getting into because they finally have thrown so much technology into it. And I think most people just want to get the feel of what this would be like driving it every day. And in my opinion, it's a very nice vehicle to drive. It's definitely not on the aggressive side of vehicles. It doesn't feel like you have too much power. It doesn't feel like you have a suspension only designed for off-roading. And it doesn't feel as if it's large or it's hard to maneuver or it sways all over the road. That was a problem for me with some Jeeps I'd driven in the past where it just kind of feels like it wanders all over the road. This one feels like a regular vehicle. It definitely does not have any type of sloppiness in terms of controllability while you're driving on the road. Handles bumps very well. This is a horrible road, yet it handles and tackles these bumps very, very nicely. I can really see why people like Jeeps. They're fun to drive in terms of how nimble they are and how easy they are to just maneuver around the road. So here is a quick glance at the window sticker on this unit. As you can see, 3.6 liter V6, 24 valve, 8-speed transmission. This has a 410 rear axle on it. Some of the optional equipment, all leather, LED lighting group, headlights, fog lamps, tail lamps, daytime running lights. Has a hard top headliner. The 8-speed transmission is a $2,000 option. The body color, which includes everything paint matched, is also a $2,000 option. Plus it has the Alpine system, the color matched front fender flares, and the 17 by 7.5 inch black wheels with a polished lip. 18 to 23 miles per gallon, 20 on average. And this particular vehicle has an MSRP of $52,165. Now, taking a look at the interior of this Jeep, I can tell you that it's kind of difficult to get in and out of unless you have some step sides. It's nice that you have the handle here to pull on to carry your body into the vehicle, but it's a little bit cramped getting in and out of. The interior is beautiful. It has a really, really nice layout to it, and it looks very upscale. So you're paying quite a bit for one of these, and it feels as if they're finally giving you an interior to match what you're paying for, as opposed to just a bare-bone interior that really doesn't have many features or luxury amenities. As you can see, you have the 7-inch Uconnect display on this one, fully touchscreen. You also have full automatic air conditioning controls. There is your auto start stop button that you can disengage just by pressing the button. Traction control, mute the radio very quickly. You can turn the screen off right there, which is really nice. I wish that was a feature other manufacturers incorporated. Down here you have your power windows right here. So that's one thing to also keep in mind. You have the ability to switch off your power windows right here. So basically all the normal features that would be on the driver's side door are right here. 12-volt outlet, as well as your media ports where you get your USB-C and USB jack, auxiliary input right there. You have a feature here where you can either disconnect or disengage your sway bar. You have your 4-wheel locker control right here to disengage or turn on, to either turn on or off both front and rear. 2 high, 4 high, neutral, 4 low. You have this incredibly large Pepsi can size shift lever right here with a picture of an old Willie Jeep on top, which is pretty cool. And they put several pictures of this Jeep on the outside as well that you kind of have to pay attention to see. Little touches that are pretty cool to look at. Pretty compact center console here. The larger center console down here. Well bolstered, it's comfortable. The seats are also very well bolstered and they're very comfortable to sit in. On the door you have your power mirror control, door latch of course, power door locks. You have this nice little net at the bottom. Cool little touch on the back of the seats. You have this Molly web type material that you can, I guess, attach things to. This is your back seat area. The top you have your roll cage along with the speaker system. This is a removable fiberglass top, I believe. Here's that example of the Jeep I was telling you about right there. Here's a shot of the outside. Really, really nice color to this Jeep. You can see the BF Goodwrench all-terrain TA KO2 tires. Now, pretty much every light on this Jeep is an LED light now, from your turn signals to your reverse signals to your tail lights, and they give you this really nice little halo effect around the outside like you're seeing on a lot of modern vehicles. The doors still look like they're removable. I don't know the process of removing them though. The top is definitely removable. Overall, it has a really, really nice stance to it. Another really nice thing they're now doing on the Jeeps is putting LEDs up front. So this is all LEDs. You have an LED ring that goes around here. I know a lot of people like to do that aftermarket, but now it's included. You have LED headlights, LED fog lights, and the front, to me, looks really, really good. They've done a good job incorporating the turn signals into the actual fender. Super aggressive. I love the gills that they put on the hood. In the back area, you have your cargo latch door here, and then you have some storage underneath the floor right here, which is really nice. And then of course you can open the back glass up as well. And you can see it has a pretty good size interior. Love the fact that they have this roll cage in here as well. This is really nice. I mean, it's kind of pricey, but it still is a very, very capable vehicle. It may not be, you know, the exact roots of the older CJs and the older Willie Jeeps, but it's definitely a move in the right direction if Jeep wants more people to buy their vehicles, which is ultimately their goal at the end of the day. Now, you can fold all these seats flat and just have a huge area back here to store stuff as well, if you have mountain bikes or if you have things like that. And they give you some really nice tie downs on the floor here if you need to secure things. fuel door. So standard on Jeeps is a fully boxed E-coated frame with through-welded cross members. To pop the hood's pretty simple. You simply pull these latches off. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again soon. I really want to take a moment to thank Lithia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Corpus Christi, Texas for allowing me to do these reviews. They've been very cooperative, and they simply allow me to take the vehicle out and do the tests and reviews I'd like without any sales reps or anybody trying to, pressure me to say anything. So really appreciate that about working with these guys.